Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. In today's video, we're going to be continuing Neon Genesis Evangelion Redemption. What if Shinji went back in time? Book 1, Part 9. As always, if you're new to the channel, or if you're a regular and you like what we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that's to come out now and in the future. As we go into part 9 of this series, you could say that we're entering into the final or the third act of this saga, as from parts 9 to parts 12 will be the overall conclusion of this series. As we now reach towards the end, I do want to say thank you to everyone who has been a fan of this particular story from start to finish, as it's a pet project that I've been wanting to do for a while now. Something different from the crossover stories or from even the original stories. Just something that I've been able to take my time with and write out, as I am truly a fan of the Evangelion series, and unlike most that I feel don't really cover it enough, it's something that I want to do more when it comes to what if storytelling and in all of the other aspects in general when it comes to this channel and things that I want to do, since there's a lot of things you can really do with Evangelion if you're creative enough. From the Evangelion Power Rangers Zeo series that I've made over a year ago to what I'm doing now and what I have planned even in the future. I definitely want to make Evangelion a staple of my channel along with a lot of other animes that maybe don't get a lot of coverage. So for everyone who's been enjoying the Redemption series, thank you all very much, and I hope you'll stick around as we enter into the final portion of the story. But anyway, without further ado, we're going to get into today's video. So as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Shinji was arriving to Nerve, knowing that today was going to be standard like any other. Mari was still recovering from her traumatic experience fighting against the 12th Angel. Hopefully, things could be smoothed over, and hopefully she would forget the things that she saw. As Shinji made his way in, he was greeted by a face, one he was not expecting to see now. It was a boy with white hair and with red eyes. He was standing in front of Rei Ayanami. The two had only been conversing briefly, but Shinji stayed on his guard. Rei! Hi Shinji. This boy, Hi. My name's Kaworu. I'm the 7th child. Wouldn't you figure? Yeah, wouldn't you figure? Rei, I've enjoyed talking to you. Really, I have. But I've actually wanted to meet this one for a while now. I've heard so much about you. I'm sure you have. I think I know a place where we can talk. Oh. You mean that place? Yeah. Why don't we go somewhere where it's private? Oh, sure. I enjoy sunsets, Shinji. Don't keep me waiting. Shinji would assure Rei that everything was fine. As he quickly made his way, he would get a call. Looking down, he would look to a communicator and getting word from Gendo. Shinji, how did he? It's fine, father. For now, just stay on private alert, but don't tell anyone. You know what he is. This is dangerous, Shinji. If we have a chance to take him out, it's no point, he already knows. Otherwise, he wouldn't have got past our defenses so easily. I assume he's given his clearances, right? Yes. He's going by the name Kaworu, just like you said. Apparently, he's the 7th child. More or less. We'll just go with that for now. Don't let anyone else know what's going on. I'm going to go meet him and figure things out. I'll be watching, Shinji. I understand. Shinji would follow behind Kaworu, the two of them arriving to a rather familiar spot, a place where they met in another time. Kaworu was looking at the sunset as Shinji walked to a familiar standing place. The two said nothing for a moment. After all, what could be said that hadn't already been in one previous lifetime? However, the tension between the two was much stronger. Shinji, you need to calm down. I haven't come to you with any hostilities. There's no point in us pretending. No one here besides you and me. Oh, I get it. You want to jump straight to the point. There's no use making small talk. You know who I am, and I know who you are. You might think you know me, but really you don't know yourself. I don't have time for your games, Angel. I have a name now, Shinji. You could at least try and act a bit more empathetic to me. I have no empathy for you. What? Did I harm you so bad in your previous life? What did I do to you that was so wrong? You know what. Shinji, if you think that I took advantage of your weakness, then you have me gravely mistaken. I did nothing of the sort. In fact, the only one who's at fault is you. What was that? Now, Shinji. You're the one that latched onto me in your moment of weakness. You wanted validation. You wanted someone that you felt truly understood you. And I do. Really, I do, more than anyone. You don't know anything about me. You and I are nothing alike. Really? In the end, we're just tools that are being used in the grand game. And if we're not tools, then we merely use others for our own ends. I used you to try to understand humanity. And you used me? You've even been using everyone else around you ever since you got here. I haven't done anything like that. I've only been here to stop all of you. Is that so? Then tell me, why haven't you told your friends the truth yet? Shinji's eyes would open wide at hearing this. For all the time he had been here, that was the one question that he had been avoiding. Why hadn't Shinji told anyone the truth? Granted, it worked out well with his father, but truthfully speaking, anyone who came from a post-apocalyptic future, if you had a chance to come back, then wouldn't you want to tell everyone you could? I was trying to protect them. Protect them or protect yourself? I don't know what you're getting at. I think you do. Shinji. The boy who was too spineless to do anything in his own world. But now that he's been given a second chance, he's gonna show everyone how brave and tough he is. The warrior who fights alone, who charges into battle head first without a care for anyone. You've been lying, using, and manipulating everyone to be in a position where you want them to be. Because you feel as though, if by some miracle, if you stop all of the bad, it'll erase what happened. Kaworu now stood before Shinji. But let me tell you something. No matter what you do, no matter how much you try to intervene, You will never change just who and what you are. And do you know what that is, Shinji? What's that? You're a liar. You're a failure. You're a manipulator. You use people to fulfill your own selfish, satisfactory desires. How could you ever? Because, Shinji, right now, you think you have everything you want. You're the hero, the captain of the Evangelions. Your father loves you and actually has respect for you. Misato, she's like the mother you wish you had growing up. Asuka, your love interest, oh, she adores you. She thinks that you're a mystery, that you're cool, that you're all of these amazing things. You've gotten Rei to open up. You've managed to spare your friends Kinsuke and Toji from a fate far worse than anything they experienced in your lifetime. Although I would say that Mari has been a bit of a tragedy, but you don't really care about her now, do you? And just how would you? Because she's insignificant. Because she didn't exist in your original world. Oh, and if you're worried that she's going to play a role in the grand scheme of things, oh, she won't. She's insignificant. She always was. She's nothing more but a mere ripple in the waters. Something that just came from afar. Something that just happened by chance. Maybe she existed, maybe she didn't, but in the end of the day, she just doesn't matter. But let's focus on what really matters. And that's you. I think you've become pretty much aware that we know who and what you are. My kind, and we haven't taken too fondly of what you've done. Playing with the universe, with the balance. Lilith, for some reason, chose to betray us for you. Why, I'm not entirely sure. But don't worry, that betrayal will be rectified soon enough. You were nothing like this where I came from. Why the change? Oh, you think it's a change? I wish I could say it was myself, but truthfully speaking, this is just how I've always felt. I must say, I don't know what my original self was thinking when he first met you. Maybe he took pity on some poor creature, a tortured soul, but you are nothing like that. Well, now that you're here, what exactly do you want? An ultimatum. A choice. I'm going to lay it out before you. Seele, my kind, we are aware of what you are and what you're trying to do. And we're just going to tell you now it's not going to work. You see, whatever you think you know, whatever future that you think you understand, you really don't. And no matter what plans you and Gendo and your friends concoct, in the end of the day, you are all still destined to fail. But you can fail in one of two ways. You can fail and be the hero, or you can fail and lose everything. The choice is yours. What exactly are you getting at? Well, you're from a different reality, a different timeline. So that means there's a world where Sele's plans all came to fruition. They would very much like to see that for themselves. And my kind, well, we would like to see that world as well. All we have to do is find the doorway, and by God, you are the doorway. Because you're not 100%, are you? I know. We were cutting it close. If we actually allowed you to reach 100% completion, well, then you'd be able to use your full power, and then you'd be a real tricky boy to bring down. But Now I think you're in just the right space. So here's what you can do. Allow us to use you. You will serve as our doorway. Sele, my kind, we'll leave this reality alone. We'll go into the future and see third impact for ourselves. And if I don't, well, if you don't, we're going to attack. Now, you can try to fight us. Maybe you'll win, maybe you won't. I can guarantee you one thing. There will be a lot of death. Because even if Sele cannot succeed, they'll take as many with them as they can. I don't think I need to tell you how dangerous it can get. One false move and this entire world can go up in flame, and third impact will probably proceed anyway in one way or another, so in the end you will have all died for nothing. At least with the first option, you and everything else that's wrong with this world can simply go away. We'll inhabit your timeline that you've graciously already made for us, and everyone here will be safe. And I take it, oh yes, you will die. It's nothing personal, really, it's not. But they just can't fathom having you in existence. You're an affront to us, in one way or another. By using you as the conduit, you will die in the process. There's no getting around it. But, even still, you can take solace in knowing that you at least saved one timeline. But you're not so selfish to try to fight us, are you? Shinji bit his lip in anger. He wasn't sure what he should do. The enemy had finally caught him. They knew his plans and what he was going to do. Now he only had two choices. Either help the enemy and save the people whom he knew now, or take his chances and suffer a worse consequence. Shinji. Huh? Lilith? Shinji, you must be careful before you make this decision. I think he's decided enough, sister. Also, you're free to take whatever form you wish, and yet you choose to look like her. You could say she's had a lasting impression on me. In the end, Rei Ayanami was never real. She is very much real, just as I am real. Maybe. It's been fun, I must admit. Why you've chosen to betray us, we don't know, but you do understand the consequence. I can't do this. If they get what they want, they'll go back and you won't. I'll be fine, Shinji. But you have to decide if this is what you want. I told you there would be sacrifice in order to achieve your goal. Is this it? Is this the sacrifice? I cannot say. I cannot see your future, Shinji. The fates of everyone and everything, it all hinges in something unknown. Well, Shinji, what's it gonna be? Shinji looked out as the sun began to set. He thought of everyone in that moment. Of his father, of his mother, Misato, Kaji, Asuka, Kinsuke, Toji, Marie, everyone else at Nerve. This was, in the end, what he wanted. But he wasn't ready to give it up. How much time do I have? I'd say you have around a week, a few days maybe, to get everything in order. Is that all I'll have? Unfortunately. So, can we count on you, Shinji? If you promise that this world that this reality will never experience the terror of the angels ever again. That everyone will be able to live in peace and without fear. If you can really promise me that, then I'll do it. You have my word, Shinji. This world will not experience the terrors of my kind. They will be free. But I can tell that there's one more thing you want, isn't it? Shinji looked at him seriously. My mother. I want you to free her from Ava Unit 1. Ah, freeing a soul. I believe you can find a way to get it done. Some preparations will need to be made, of course. Just tell me what I have to do. I must say, Shinji Ikari, you do surprise me. You are much sensible and more reasonable than most. I promise you, your sacrifice will not be in vain. About 2 days later, Mari was discharged from the hospital. Thankfully, she had recovered a lot better than many were expecting. She apologized to Shinji for blaming him for what the angel had made her see, and he promised her that everything was going to be fine. Everyone was happy and in good spirits. As for Shinji, he found himself rather busy, more so than usual. Of course, there were many things that he wanted to have done at a later date and time, but there were some things that just couldn't afford to be held off any longer. Shinji would get off the phone as he looked into the mirror. Oh, yes. It's all taken care of. Thank you, Kaji. Goodbye. Man, this stupid thing. Ooh, you going somewhere fancy? Misato would say, as Shinji was dressed in a black suit, wearing a white shirt along with a red tie, fixing it and trying to get himself as presentable as possible. Oh, yeah, I have somewhere to be. I'm meeting someone. Who's the lucky lady? It's Asuka, isn't it? Misato, Come on, you think I wouldn't notice the way you two look at each other? It's almost as if you get lost within her eyes. Come on, you don't have to tease me like that. I can't help it. Here, let me help you. Misato would straighten Shinji's tie, making sure that he was presentable and handsome. It's like I'm sending my boy off to his first date. Although I care about all of you, so I think that might be a little weird. Don't worry, Misato, you don't have to think of it that way. But still, I worry about all of you a lot. Honestly, I know that in the end I'm nothing more but a handler, but you're more than that, Misato. Really, I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me. You probably may not believe it, but I'd probably be in a worse place if it wasn't for you. You've always put everyone else's needs ahead of your own. And that's something that I know we'll all be grateful for. But I'll be most grateful for it. I didn't grow up with my mom, so I never really knew much of what mother's love could actually feel like. But ever since I've gotten here, I like to think that it's what you've given me. I mean, I hope I don't mean to spring it on you, but Misato would instantly give Shinji a hug, as she tried to fight back some tears. I feel the same way. Thank you so much, Shinji. Thank you, Misato. Shinji would make his way to a restaurant. It was nothing entirely fancy, but it was elegant enough. As he waited at the front door, it would take some time, but eventually she would arrive. A girl dressed with her hair tied in a bun, sporting an elegant black dress. Gone were her red hair clips, but what she had around her neck was a thing of beauty, a necklace that had been brought for her. How do I look? You look, I take your breath away, don't I? Shinji would simply nod as he got a good look at Asuka. Honestly, she could be beautiful in just about anything, but this was beyond measure. She was beyond the moons and the stars itself. Honestly, how on earth he could be blessed to even be in the presence of someone like her was awe-inspiring. The two made their way inside as Shinji paid for their dinner. Everything, the experience, the food, the ambiance, the music, all of it was truly divine. But their night wasn't just done there. They went for a stroll to the park as the lamps began to shine, and the stars could even be peeked through the night sky itself. As they heard music playing in the background, Shinji and Asuka would both sit together on a bench as they enjoyed the view of everything around them. Shinji, tonight's been absolutely wonderful. I mean, I don't think I've ever had this much fun in my life. Well, I'm just grateful you said yes, and that you actually had time. Well, it's not like I was just going to let all of this go to waste. But you should know, I wouldn't just go out with any guy. I know. You look as though something's been on your mind all night, Shinji. There has been. Shinji would stand as he reached out his hand towards Asuka and she took it. He would help her stand on her feet. Asuka, this is going to sound extremely rushed. And honestly, you have every right to hate me after this. What? Why would I hate you? Shinji would get down on one knee as he looked up towards her. Shinji, what are you doing? Asuka, I've been trying to put this together for the last 3 days now. Truth be told, I've had feelings for you for a while. More so than I can even fathom, and they're far deeper than simple words can convey. Truth be told, in our line of work, you never know when your next fight is going to be your last. And not that I'm expecting the worst, but you never know what can happen. Off in the distance of the park, underneath a bodega, there would be a man standing with a book in hand. Asuka Langley Soryu, I love you. I know that maybe saying those words, they're probably hard to convey, but truly, I do love you. And I can't think of anyone else that I would want to spend the rest of my life with. Now, this might be last minute, and I have no idea how you feel for me, but I'd really appreciate it if you would marry me. Are you? Shinji would take out the ring, offering it to her. I know that this is really sudden, and this is extremely rushed, and truth be told, if I could do it with other people, I promise I would, but I'm just feeling spontaneous. Shinji, you... I mean, if you don't want to, really, you don't have to. It's probably stupid that I even put all this together. Oh, boy. Shinji started to look away a bit nervous. He could feel the sweat starting to bead off his forehead. He knew that he could be expecting a roundhouse kick to the face right about now, or a tirade of curses in German. But Asuka, tears only started to flow as she looked down upon him. She immediately jumped into his arms. Of course I'll marry you, you idiot. Really? You're even, like, right... Well, are you gonna keep me waiting, or are we gonna do this? I mean, you're right, we never know when we're going to die, but I don't plan on dying anytime soon. Although, I don't plan on staying in Japan all the time, so you're gonna have to learn German so that we can go back to my home country. Yeah. Alright. Shinji placed the ring on her finger before taking his wedding band as well. The two ran together in front of the ordained minister, hand in hand. If there was ever a definition of a shotgun wedding, this would definitely be one. However, Shinji in this moment, it didn't matter to him. The only thing that mattered was, at least for a brief time, he could at least experience the joy of being married to the girl that he loved more than anything. The ceremony was quick. Words were spoken on the spot, but still they came from the heart. And, almost surprisingly enough, when both Shinji and Asuka arrived home, everyone else was gone. So they had time to themselves. This was a moment that I won't go into too much detail. No reason for me to do so. But know that on this night, it was a night of discovery. For the two, they didn't have to worry about the fate of the world or anything else. At least for a moment, the only thing that truly mattered was the connection that was shared between them. A night where neither one was Shinji Ikari, or the other was Asuka Langley Ikari. In that moment, it was a union, as two truly became one. As the end of the week finally came, Shinji found himself standing in front of a familiar sight. With him, his father, as they looked at the headstone of Miss Ikari. She was truly beautiful, Shinji, Gendo would say. A beauty far beyond anything this world could ever know. I believe it. I can feel her spirit every time I pilot. Shinji, I know that it's okay, Father, really. I promise, no matter what, everything's going to be alright. Just have faith. I must admit that's difficult for a man like me. But even a man of logic can believe in miracles. As Gendo left, Shinji looked down upon the tombstone of Yue Ikari. Don't worry, Mother. I promise I'll free you soon. Although, I do feel bad that we'll never really get to meet face to face. Hopefully you'll love your daughter-in-law. And I hope that at the very least, you all will be fine when I'm gone. Shinji knew that the day was going to come. He wasn't sure of the time or the place. He and Asuka were sitting together. They were on their lunch break at school. Of course, she didn't wear her ring all the time, but whenever they were alone, Asuka just loved to watch as their hands would be clasped together, both of their ring fingers touching. She couldn't help but smile and blush greatly. Of course, she hoped that they would have another wedding ceremony, one that was a lot more traditional, where she could dress up like a true bride. But even still, she was filled with an excitement, with a happiness that she couldn't really unravel within herself. She had gotten a chance to be with someone whom she truly loved and who loved her back. They had experienced things together that only the two of them could ever truly understand. She felt like she had finally been pulled out of that darkness, out of that depression, out of that place of despair that she had kept herself in for so long. She never thought that she could reach this point again, but now she was finally here. And as for Shinji, he simply enjoyed the moment. He enjoyed it because he never knew when it would be their last. Almost as if on clockwork, as he leaned in to kiss her, the alarm would begin to ring all throughout Tokyo 3. The alarm for the attack of the angels. Shinji and Asuka would look at each other seriously as they began to race from the school along with the other pilots, all 6 of them running together as one, as they eventually made their way to headquarters. They would all suit up inside of their Evangelions, as Shinji awaited for the next angel's attack. He knew what was going to come, and now he simply had to be prepared to finish what he started. This is what many could say is the final battle, as we now enter the death of Shinji Ikari. This concludes Neon Genesis Evangelion Redemption. What if Shinji went back in time? Book 1, Part 9. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcasting stats to come out now and in the future. Stay tuned for Monday's video as we continue Naruto Polaris Shippuden, What if Hanabi Hyuga was born first? Part 12. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. Signing off, and I'll see you next time.